Residents at, now they do say this could change, so let me keep going here. Residents at risk from Mauna Loa lava flows should review preparedness and refer to Hawaii County Civil Defense information. Refer to Hawaii County Civil Defense information for further guidance. This is also important. Based on past events, the early stages of a Mauna Loa rift zone eruption, which is what we're seeing now, the early stages of a Mauna Loa rift zone eruption can be very dynamic. They can change. They can change a lot. And the location and the advance of lava flows can change rapidly. So they're saying right now we don't expect this lava flow to affect populated communities, but that could change. That's what the USGS is saying. Since the mid-19th century, Mauna Loa's northeast rift zone, this is a specific area that's where the eruption's happening now, has erupted 8 times. 1843, 1852, 1855, 1856, 1880, 1881, 1899, 1935, 1936, 1942, and 1984. Lava flows from the northeast rift zone, that's where the lava is coming out right now. Lava flows from the northeast rift zone can travel in north, west, northwest, south, and southwest directions. So it's not clear how much lava is going to come out, where it's going to go. There was also a really interesting, let's see if I can find it here. I found an interesting map telling you how long it would take for lava to eventually reach different areas. I think I have that here somewhere. Let me show you that real quick. That was really interesting. Hang on, let me show you that. I have to find it first. That's not it. Eruption response times. Here it is. Okay, this is a map from 2021 from the USGS. Mauna Loa eruption response times. This map, they say, shows, let me do this. This map shows the response time people can expect based on Mauna Loa eruptions over the past 200 years. Different sectors around the volcano. So the volcano is located in, this is the northeast rift zone here, this is the summit. This is where the eruption is currently happening, in this area here. Different sectors around Mauna Loa are colored according to how quickly lava flows can reach populated areas. The warmer the color, the more quickly the lava flows travel. Mauna Loa lava flows over the last 200 years are shown in gray. So the gray lines you see, it's very interesting. These gray lines on this map is everywhere the lava has gone during eruptions from the last 200 years. Sometimes the lava ends up here, sometimes it ends up here. I think in 1984 it ended up a few miles from Hilo. It's Hilo, I believe it is, which has 44,000 people. The numbers along the coastline indicate the lava travel times to the ocean after the vents opened. Large, bold numbers record the average effusion rates for the different parts of the volcano in millions of cubic meters per day. So, something to notice here. It says, we've been talking about Hilo, which is up here, the city of Hilo. Lava flows from this region can reach populated areas in weeks to months. Okay, so what they're saying is, if there was this worst case scenario and enough lava kept flowing to get to Hilo, it would take weeks or months. Weeks or months. However, if you look here, South Kona, it says lava flows from this region of Mauna Loa can reach populated areas in hours. Now, when they say from this region, they mean red. So I don't know. It sounds to me like maybe they mean if you have lava, I would assume this would be maybe lava that's coming out of the southwest rift zone, which it's not right now. But If lava starts moving into these areas, that can reach populated areas in hours. Whereas if the lava is flowing this way, it takes weeks or months to reach populated areas. And then it says here, lava flows from this segment of Mauna Loa can reach populated areas in days to weeks. So depending on where the lava is coming out, it can take shorter or longer times to reach populated areas. Right now we're talking about this eruption is happening in the northeast rift zone, which is here. And just eyeballing it, it looks like what's happened in the past is that, well, actually, some lava has gone into this area. There's one more area we didn't talk about up here. North Kona, lava flows from this region of Mauna Loa can reach populated areas in days to weeks. So again, the gray lines are where lava has flowed in past eruptions in the last 200 years of this volcano. And right now, lava is coming out somewhere up here. But just something to keep in mind in terms of reaching populated areas and how long it might take. It's a very interesting map. I also saw something in one of these updates about the different areas it could reach, but let me see here if I can find that update. But maybe while we're on the air, it'd be great if while we're on the air they issue a new update. But because the last one was 4 hours ago, so I wouldn't be surprised if when we're on the air we get a new update from USGS. Last 7 days. Oh boy. I'd have to go back. Mauna Loa. When was this one from? That was the last Mauna Loa one. Okay, I'll give you more updates on, well, I'll find some more stuff in this. I want to take some comments from you guys. So give me a shout at Lookner on Twitter. We are covering the eruption of Mauna Loa volcano, the largest active volcano in the world. It is on Hawaii Island. It's where that red marker is on your map there. And it started erupting about 12 hours ago. And the eruption started at the summit in here, and now it is erupting in the northeast rift zone, which is here. Not currently threatening populated areas, not currently expected to threaten populated areas, but that could change. You know, the USGS says early stage Mauna Loa northeast rift zone eruption, which is where we're at right now, is dynamic. It can change rapidly. Let me read you what they actually said. Based on past events, the early stages of a Mauna Loa rift zone eruption can be very dynamic, and the location in advance of lava flows can change rapidly. So, for example, when this started last night, it was just at the summit. When this volcano started last night, it was at the summit. It's where the lava was coming out, and now it's coming out of the northeast rift zone. That changed during the morning. All right, let me take. Oh, and really quick, this is from Hawaii County Civil Defense Agency. Hey, thanks quickly to Richard Williams. Really appreciate your support, Richard Williams. Also, really appreciate your support, Paul W. Thank you, Paul W. Paul says, is there anything being said whether this Hawaii volcano eruption is linked to, the eruption in the Tonga volcano was when we covered that one. No, I mean, I see nothing that was back in August, the Hunga Tonga eruption. Hunga Ha'apai eruption was, that huge eruption that we covered was in December 20th, when was it? January 15th, 2022. No, I don't, I see nothing to connect that in this. And so, I mean, but I'm not a geologist. So for all I know, maybe there's some sort of plate that might connect it. It's pretty far away though. You know, if you just look at, if you look here, you know, it's like probably thousands of miles away. Hunga Tonga is here. And if we go to directions, Mauna Loa, Hawaii, it's all the way up here. So if you were going to fly there, you can't even fly there. You can take a boat there. If I just do a measure distance, it's thousands of miles, 3,000 miles away. So yeah, I mean, nothing, I've seen nothing about it. Anne Marie says it's on the Ring of Fire, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, there's certain areas where volcanoes happen more. Again, I am not a geologist. I'll show you what some experts say about this. The Ring of Fire is a region around much of the rim of the Pacific Ocean where many volcanic eruptions and earthquakes occur. But I don't even know that the Hunga Tonga wasn't even in Ring of Fire, right? Hunga Tonga was in the middle of the ocean. Am I wrong about that? No, oh no, actually it's over down here. Tonga Trench. But Hawaii, where is Hawaii at? I don't know that Hawaii is in it. Hang on, let me just get you here. See, it says Tonga Trench. I did not read up on my Hunga Tonga volcano stuff before coming on the air. But if you look at Hawaii here, oops, how do I get back to this? There. That doesn't look like Ring of Fire to me. Ring of Fire is this. Serena says it's not in the Ring of Fire, it is in the middle of a Pacific plate over a hotspot. So we can get into the specifics about the, we'll talk more about the specifics about Mauna Loa volcano shortly. All right, I want to take some questions and comments from you guys before showing you some more updates here. And I am hoping that we'll get another update soon from USGS because it's been several hours since their last one. Just looking here. Ooh, hold on. New post from USGS. VOG dispersion model. They just posted this. VOG dispersion model includes emissions from Mauna Loa eruption. VMAP VOG forecast dashboard displays ground level air quality for guidance on location envelope of VOG plume areas of possible health risks. VOG. VOG is a form of air pollution that results when sulfur dioxide and other gases and particles emitted by an erupting volcano react with oxygen and moisture in the presence of sunlight. The word is a portmanteau of the words volcanic and smog. The term is common use in the Hawaiian Islands. So this is this volcano-caused air pollution dispersion model. Let's see what this is. They just posted this. A new eruption, so I'm looking at this right now. Let me show you what it says. This is from mkwc.ifa.hawaii.edu. A new eruption began in the summit of Mauna Loa volcano. Gas emission conditions are changing rapidly. Okay. What am I looking at here? Oh, this is a forecast, I believe. I'm looking at the bottom, you can see the timeline starts, is that Eastern time? It says 2 p.m. I don't know if that's local time or universal time, but what this is, this map displays info on ground level air quality from volcanic gas emissions. So this is a model as to where this unhealthy air is going to go. That's the idea of this map. And it has a clock at the bottom. It looks like it starts at 2 p.m. today, and then it gets to, it's a 24-hour map. It's a 24-hour map starting at 2 p.m. today, which maybe is local time, I'm not sure. Or maybe it's universal time. Universal time now is, maybe it's universal time, which would be, universal time now is 10 p.m. though. So it could be, if it starts at 2 p.m., that would be 8 hours ago. But anyways, you can see that the forecast would be for this, for this pollutant. Oh, that's sulfur dioxide, it says. So pollutant sulfur dioxide, pollutant sulfate aerosols. So generally speaking, it has this pollutants moving away from the area of the volcano and going to like the north, kind of, the north and northwest. Anyways, if you want to get into the details about this air pollution map layers. Oh, here's a description. Forecast discussion. At approximately 11:30 p.m. last night, an eruption began on the summit caldera of Mauna Loa volcano. At this time, limited information is available on gas emission rates and VOG plume height. Based on current southerly wind conditions, VOG, this volcanic air pollution, is likely to impact the northern part of Hawaii Island, including Hilo, Hamakua, and Kohala districts. VOG will largely remain in the upper levels of the atmosphere throughout the morning, with air quality remaining, quote, acceptable. Surface air quality is likely to deteriorate throughout the day. Conditions may change rapidly. That's interesting. VOG is a term that relates to volcanic smog. It's the haze you may see in the air that is caused by a combination of weather, wind conditions, and volcanic activity. What are the health impacts of VOG? Health impacts will vary. People most likely to experience negative health impacts from VOG include people with asthma or other respiratory conditions, people with cardiovascular disease, older adults, infants and children, newer expected mothers. Short-term exposure to elevated levels of sulfur dioxide can cause symptoms such as irritation of the eyes, nose, throat, and skin, coughing, wheezing, chest tightness, and difficulty breathing. Both long and short-term particle exposure have been linked to various health problems. Okay. How can I protect myself from VOG? It is important for people living in and visiting areas impacted by VOG to take steps to keep themselves safe. It is recommended that people in VOG-impacted areas, if you are feeling symptoms that may be related to VOG or are aware of high levels of VOG in your area, the following recommendations may help. Reduce outdoor activities that cause heavy breathing, for example. Stay indoors and close windows and doors. That kind of stuff, and other things too. Anyways, if you want to find this map, you can actually find the link to it. USGS Volcanoes posted this VOG dispersion prediction map. They just posted it like 10 minutes ago on their Twitter at USGS Volcanoes. So we'll keep an eye on that. What I need to do is make a note of that. All right, let me take some comments. Sorry, there's a lot of information about this that I want to share. But just to go back here, let me take some comments and questions. We're talking about Mauna Loa volcano, which is on Hawaii Island, and it is that red marker there, where that red marker is. So give me a shout at Lookner on Twitter. Dila says last eruption, our viewer Dila says last eruption lasted about a month. Let me look that up. The 1984 eruption. That's the last one of Mauna Loa. So the USGS says the last eruption at Mauna Loa was about 3 weeks long in 1984. The 1984 eruption of Mauna Loa ended a 9-year period of quiescence, of being quiet. These are some. So if you want to read about the 1984 eruption, you can go. They have a whole article on it on the USGS site. How many miles did the lava reach? One of our viewers says. I have not seen yet a kind of a lava map. I assume we'll start seeing those, but I mean, this just started last night. And I have not seen yet like an official, here's the extent of the lava at this point. And these are different observations that need to be made by experts. It's going to be changing over time if the lava keeps flowing, but I'm not aware yet of a map of the lava flow. What I can tell you is we do know that it started at the summit, which would be here, and that lava is now coming out of the northeast rift zone, which is here. See that yellow line? It says Northeast Rift Zone. So this is where the lava is flowing right now. And as of the last update, the lava had not left the rift zone. So it's in this area right here. Hey, let me read you a article or a thread here by an expert. This is from Dr. Robin George Andrews. So let me show you what he has to say about this. He posted a thread. The Hawaiian volcano Mauna Loa has begun erupting with lava currently... Now this was earlier. See, when he posted this last night, he said lava currently confined to the summit. It's not confined to the summit anymore. So just to be clear, the summit would be here. See the summit? But it's not just in the summit. It's also coming out in places in here somewhere. He says it's the first eruption at the volcano since 1984. This situation could evolve in a number of ways. Thread. He said there's a lot going on here and a lot that could or could not happen. Okay, first off, no. This has nothing to do with any other eruption happening anywhere else in the world at the same time. No, this eruption does not imply some sort of apocalyptic tsunami earthquake is about to happen. Anyone saying anything of the sort is talking out of their arse. So that is from Dr. Robin George Andrews. He also says the significance... Hang on one second here. He says the significance of Mauna Loa erupting comes from a variety of historical reasons, but the fact that it is a hazardous mountain that hasn't erupted since 1984, the longest erupted pause in its recorded history, is why we should all keep an eye on it. That's very interesting. It's the largest eruptive pause. It hadn't erupted in 38 years. The largest eruptive pause in its recorded history. Mauna Loa is a rather massive shield volcano on the island of Hawaii, shield in that it is a lot wider than it is tall. But it's still about 2.6 miles tall, so yeah, it's a big volcano. In fact, it's the largest active volcano in the world, says Dr. Robin George Andrews. Much of it is submerged beneath the waves, meaning its summit is actually about 10.5 miles off the seafloor. Mauna Loa is spread over an area equal to about 2,000 square miles, so yeah, it's gigantic. Its name means, Mauna Loa means long mountain, in fact. Like all the volcanoes in the Hawaiian archipelago, I always pronounce this word wrong. I want to say it's archipelago, but is it archipelago? No, I think it's arch. Oh, it's arc. I said it wrong. I always get it wrong. Here, let me show you. It's archipelago. Anyways, archipelago is trying to show you here. It's an archipelago is a chain, cluster, or collection of islands. That is archipelago. All right, sorry. Anyways, that's from Wikipedia. Like all the volcanoes in the Hawaiian archipelago, the chain of Hawaiian islands, this is a hotspot volcano. Deep beneath the Pacific tectonic plate, a superheated fountain of matter, a plume, has been rising from considerable depths over epochal time through the solid but squishy mantle. As the plume reaches the underbelly of the Pacific plate, which is a lithic biscuit made of the upper mantle and with the crust overlain atop, its heat melts its surroundings, creating magma. The material shuttled up within the plume itself, when encountering these lower pressure environments, also melts, creating more magma. This is just a description of what's going on underground there. The mantle plume beneath the Pacific plate hasn't moved for an age, but the tectonic plate itself has been drifting all over the place. That means that this plume has been hitting a moving target, ultimately leading to the creation of many volcanoes in the archipelago. Mauna Loa is just one such volcano. It happens to be the most colossal of them all. The plume is not directly beneath the volcano anymore, but it is most certainly active, a volcanological shorthand that means the volcano has erupted once in the last 12,000 years or so, which implies it can erupt again, and indeed it has. This volcano, situated sort of in the middle of the island of Hawaii, has not been one to let Kilauea, its cousin to the southeast, have all the fun. Okay. Fine. Mauna Loa volcano has erupted 33 times since 1843, an approximate cadence of one eruption every 5 years, says Dr. Robin George Andrews. Okay, he says there were many eruptions long before this. 1843 is roughly when solid written records of the volcano's activity began. Okay. This is interesting. As the USGS notes, most eruptions at this volcano occurred prior to 1950, averaging 3.5 years between eruptions. Eruption, remember, is any time that lava comes out of the ground. Since 1950, there have been only 2 eruptions in addition to the one now. A summit eruption 25 years later in 1975, and by a rift eruption 9 years later in 1984. As of 2022, it had been 38 years since the last eruption, the longest quiet period on record. That's very interesting. Okay, let me just read. I'm not going to read the whole thread. How many more? It's a long thread, so I'll kind of just go through, and you can read the whole thread at Dr. Robin George Andrews. But I'm just going to try to pick and choose a few more of these posts he made. The volcano erupts a particularly fluid hot lava that turns into a rock named basalt. It's broadly the same chemistry as the stuff that exsanguinates from Kilauea. It often initially oozes out at 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. The lava is not, the way this lava is, the chemistry of this type of lava that comes out of this volcano is not the sort of chemistry that usually leads to explosive eruptions, ones with big columns of ash and pyroclastic density currents and so on. Eruptions at Mauna Loa volcano are effusive, meaning oozing lava for the most part. So that's important to keep in mind. You shouldn't expect big explosive eruptions. You'd more expect an eruption at Mauna Loa to be just lava oozing out of the ground. Like Kilauea, Mauna Loa's lava erupts from 2 sorts of places: the summit, or peripheral vents, cones, and/or fissures or flanks along rift zones. As we mentioned, it started last night coming from the summit, and now it's flowing from the northeast rift zone. Rift zones are parts of the volcano that are being gradually torn apart by local tectonic forces and the underlying migration of magma. When wounds open in these rift zones, eruptible magma beneath them may erupt out. Okay, fine. The locations of the new rifts, the new places where lava will come out of the ground in this eruption, on the flanks of volcanoes, generally speaking, the locations of where the ground is going to open up and lava is going to come out on the flanks of volcanoes are hard to forecast. The timing of when a fissure may open and its exact location can be vague. See, this is very interesting. He posted this about 10 hours ago. He said as of 1 a.m. Hawaii time, there's no evidence that magma is moving toward any rift zone. But shortly after this, I mean, by now, the lava has started coming out of the rift zones. So when he was writing this last night, it was about an hour and a half after the eruption started, and the magma was only coming out of the summit. The lava was only coming out of the summit last night. But this morning, it started coming out of the northeast rift zone here. So again, he you know, it's interesting. He's an expert on volcanoes, but he didn't know that lava was going to start coming out of the rift zone this morning, but it did. He says eruptions at Mauna Loa frequently involve lava pouring downslope, sometimes into populated neighborhoods. So what can Mauna Loa's most recent eruptions tell us about the potential paths the lava in this new eruption may take? And then he says, important caveat. Past eruptions only offer a guide to the myriad ways in which a new eruption may evolve. They are not forecasts or guarantees, as every new eruption is unique in many ways. He says eruptions at Mauna Loa and the associated hazard with the lava largely depends on which way the lava tends to go after it begins erupting. Okay. Fine. So he talks about how the city of Hilo again is here. Hilo is over here. In terms of distance, Hilo is about 30 miles from where the lava is coming out. 30 miles, okay? Hilo has 45,000 people. So it would be bad if lava... Obviously, it'd be terrible if lava covers any populated area. But you don't want, it would be really bad if lava just kind of covered this whole area. It would destroy everything, right? It's a sizable city. So that's Hilo over there, as an example. He talks about Hilo. He says, in 1881 eruption of Mauna Loa, the lava flow was advancing toward the town of Hilo, and villagers put up barricades to try to stop it in vain. Okay, the lava flow did stop shortly afterwards. Okay, another eruption in 1935 threatened Hilo again. And it was decided that the lava flow should be redirected through use of high explosives, bomb dropped by military aircraft. Wow. Turns out this didn't work, and in fact, the use of explosives to divert lava flows is almost always a bad idea. The last Mauna Loa eruption was 1984, involving both summit and flank eruptive activity. What began as lava fountaining up and into the summit fled into the opening of several flank fissures. That has happened this morning, where we have, it's not just lava at the summit, lava is coming out of the flank of the volcano. This is 1980, he says in 1984, blah, 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 blah. In 1984, the last eruption, the increasingly populous city of Hilo was once again in danger, but luckily for the nth time, the magma supply dropped off just in time to spare it. Hilo isn't the only city-town neighborhood that Mauna Loa's lava flows can endanger, but it does frequently find itself in the way. So as you can see, eruptions vary in style, volume, location, and duration considerably. Okay. Here's another hazard that can happen. If lava enters the sea or a large lake, it can create plumes of laze, a portmanteau of lava and haze, which is a mixture of hydrochloric acid, steam, and fine glass particles. This is largely not a problem for those with healthy respiratory systems, but it has been known to kill people right next to the plumes in the past. Fortunately, people are kept far away from areas in which laze may appear. VOG, we talked about VOG earlier. VOG, volcanic fog, is a similar hazard that's created by volcanic emissions from the volcano itself. Okay. He says Mauna Loa is one of the most well-monitored volcanoes on the planet. Okay. He said no evacuations are being called at this time. But again, when he wrote this about 9 hours ago, he said the two major rift zones of the volcano are showing no worrying signs of anything at all at present. But subsequently, after he posted this thread, lava started coming out of the northeast rift zone. He also says, this is interesting here. This is a really good thread. You can, if you want to read the whole thread, go to Dr. Robin George Andrews at Squiggly Volcano. I follow him. He's a great person to follow for volcano stuff. He says the current warning code for the eruption, red/warning, may confuse some. The color refers to the aviation warning. Red equals eruption may make plenty of ash, so planes must stay far away. The second word, warning, refers to the danger posed to those on the ground. A hazardous eruption is imminent, underway, or suspected. What's next? I don't know, of course, and neither does anyone, he says. The Hawaiian Volcano Observatory is on the case. Everyone on the island is on the highest alert. And it's interesting. He said this eruption could be confined to the summit and that's it. But that wasn't it. That wasn't it. So, you know, again, that just shows you he's an expert. And he didn't know what was going to happen. When he wrote this, the lava was just coming out of the summit. But now it's coming out in the northeast rift zone in here. So he didn't even know that was going to happen. You know, he said it was possible. He said it could peter out today or last for weeks or months. We'll just have to see. Wow. So really interesting thread from Dr. Robin George Andrews. Oh, he also posted this. See? Let me show you this. So I hadn't seen this post. He posted this about 4 hours ago. He said, oof, lava is now erupting from fresh vents on the slopes along Mauna Loa's northeast rift zone, or NERS. That brings a new hazardous dimension to the eruption. We showed you this. These are these pictures we showed you earlier. Lava erupting from vents on the northeast rift zone. Here, let me show you this from the site here. There, that's a photo taken about 5 hours ago, and that's from the northeast rift zone. And when I say rift zone, Mauna Loa, you have the summit right here, and then you have the northeast rift zone here, this yellow area up here. It says NE rift zone. So Robin George Andrews said, Dr. Robin George Andrews, oof, he said, lava is now erupting not just from the summit, but from fresh vents on the slopes along Mauna Loa's northeast rift zone, or NERS. That brings a hazardous new dimension to the eruption. He says, the city of Hilo and other infrastructure are downslope from the rift zone, but the slopes here are relatively gentle, and unless the lava flow rate picks up dramatically, Hilo will be okay. Okay, interesting. All right, so we are bringing you live updates here. I just want to go back to what he said here. Again, he said this eruption, it's not confined to the summit anymore. He said, though, the eruption could peter out today or last for weeks or months. We'll just have to see. All right, let me take some more comments from you guys. At Lookner on Twitter is where you can reach me. At Lookner on Twitter. Let me just also check something here. Hang on. I'm doing a few things here. Once again, I have way too much open on my desktop.
Hello everybody, I'm Spyro Kid. Welcome to Dragon Quest XI S, Hard Mode Plus, HP up by 2, Acquired XP up by 8. How are all of you today? I'm doing pretty good. What we were just watching was live coverage from Agenda Free TV talking about a recent volcanic eruption of Hawaii's largest volcano, which is called Mauna Loa. we're going to be looking at a report from Associated Press talking about this. This is what we know so far as of 6 hours ago. This 24-hour time-lapse from the U.S. Geological Survey Hawaiian Volcano Observatory shows the start of the eruption of Mauna Loa. Officials say volcanic ash and debris is falling nearby. The eruption of the world's largest active volcano began late Sunday night in the summit caldera. Early Monday, the USGS said lava flows were contained within the summit area and weren't threatening nearby communities. The agency warned residents at risk from Mauna Loa lava flows should review their eruption preparations. Scientists have been on alert because of a recent spike in earthquakes at the summit of the volcano, which last erupted in 1984. And that's pretty much the gist of what we have so far. Developing story. However, there doesn't appear to be any residential areas under threat at the moment, but like the experts were saying, anything can happen. They can't really predict how volcanoes are going to go. By the moment, the residential areas and metropolitan areas on the island are not threatened at this time. However, planes that are flying in the air should be avoiding the volcano at this point, considering that it's active and could erupt at any time or not at all. So that's pretty much on this developing story. If, of course, something happens new to it, I'll be sure to bring it to you. All right. Now to our regular news headlines here at AP News Minute.
This is AP News Minute. Authorities in China are easing some anti-coronavirus rules, but affirmed the country's severe zero-COVID strategy. Huge crowds in cities including Shanghai and Beijing demanded President Xi Jinping resign while protesting regulations that have kept millions of people in their homes. Some of Kherson, Ukraine's elderly residents, were evacuated on Sunday. The area is dealing with intense Russian attacks, while utility crews are trying to restore power, heat, and water. A vigil was held in Chesapeake, Virginia for the 6 people shot and killed by a supervisor in a Walmart last week. The shooter died at the scene of a self-inflicted gun wound. 2 people were rescued early Monday from a small plane that got tangled in power lines in Maryland. Authorities say both had serious injuries. The crash knocked out power to tens of thousands of homes and businesses in one county. Rita Foley, The Associated Press, with AP News Minute.
All right, up next, In Depth. This is going on for a while, creating a lot of attention. After China's protest weekend, COVID cases hit a record.
The wave of anger sweeping across cities in China over restrictive coronavirus curbs spilled over into early Monday. What began as a vigil in Beijing on Sunday night for last week's Urumqi fire victims gave way to a protest, with Beijing residents holding up blank sheets of paper, a symbol of protest and a tactic to evade censorship laws.
Shanghai 加油! Shanghai 加油! Shanghai 放人! Shanghai 放人!
They shouted support for those who protested and were arrested in Shanghai earlier over the weekend. That includes a BBC journalist who was captured on video being detained, with Shanghai residents heard demanding his release in the background. The extraordinary scenes of protest come as China reported on Monday a 5th straight daily record of new local COVID-19 cases past the 40,000 mark. As people within China protest despite strict rules against dissent, there have been a handful of sympathy demonstrations elsewhere in the world, not only in support of those in mainland China, but also against Communist Party rule. In Japan, people were heard chanting, "Down with the Chinese Communist Party" in Mandarin outside Tokyo's busy Shinjuku train station on Monday. while a large crowd gathered outside the Chinese embassy in London late on Sunday, carrying signs demanding a change in Chinese leadership. Meanwhile,
If only.
China continues to stick with President Xi Jinping's signature zero-COVID policy, even as much of the world has lifted most restrictions. On Monday, authorities in Shanghai put up barriers along sections of Urumqi Road, named after Urumqi. It's where residents staged protests over the weekend, sparking scenes unprecedented since Xi took power a decade ago.
All right. Up next, BBC World News headline.
This is BBC World News. I'm Yalda Hakim. The headlines. China's attempting to quell protests over coronavirus restrictions by deploying police out in force and erecting barriers in major Chinese cities. Thousands have been protesting across the country in a rare and surprising show of defiance. The mayor of Kyiv has warned that large numbers of people may have to leave the city because of Russia's continuing attacks on its infrastructure. Around 40% of people in the capital are without power and energy. Police dismantle a huge drug super cartel that controlled a third of Europe's cocaine trade. Police across Europe say they've dismantled a drug super cartel that was responsible for a third of the continent's cocaine trade. There were nearly 50 arrests in Spain, France, Belgium and the Netherlands. 8 people are now known to have been killed on the Italian island of Ischia after a landslide triggered by torrential rain.
All right, up next, in depth, once again focusing on COVID in China, clashes in Shanghai as COVID protests flare across China.
Clashes erupted between demonstrators and police in Shanghai on Sunday as protests over China's stringent COVID restrictions flared for a third day and spread to several cities. Video from the scene in Shanghai showed police seizing and then carrying away one protester. The wave of civil disobedience is unprecedented in mainland China, where room for dissent has been all but eliminated under President Xi Jinping, as frustration mounts over his signature zero-COVID policy. Protesters also took to the streets in the cities of Wuhan and Chengdu on Sunday. In Beijing, small gatherings of people held peaceful vigils, while students on numerous university campuses around China gathered to demonstrate over the weekend. The protests come after a deadly apartment fire on Thursday in the country's far west, where millions of residents have been under some of the country's longest lockdowns, barred from leaving their homes for as long as 100 days. Video obtained by Reuters showed residents chanting "Lift the COVID lockdown" and arguing with guards in hazmat suits after the fire led to accusations that lockdowns were a factor in the blaze that killed 10 people. Officials have denied that COVID measures hampered escape and rescue efforts. China has stuck with Xi's zero-COVID policy even as much of the world has lifted most restrictions. While low by global standards, China's case numbers have hit record highs for days, with nearly 40,000 new infections on Saturday, prompting yet more lockdowns in cities across the country.
100 days? Okay. I don't see how you should be quarantined for 100 days. I mean, over here, like, as far as we know, the virus can stay in your body for, like, probably 2 weeks in some cases, but why 100 days? That's ridiculous. I just feel for those people. I mean, like, COVID is a serious thing, but I mean, China's just being shameless on how they want to control people. I mean, they're already a restrictive, repressive country. Well, their government is restrictive, repressive against their people. But they don't care because they're in power and they've got the money and they can buy people to do their bidding. Alright, Showbiz Minute from the Associated Press is next. Jay Leno returned to the comedy stage in Los Angeles Sunday night, 2 weeks after he suffered significant burn injuries in a gasoline fire. Leno joked about the incident, saying he had 2 shows, regular and extra crispy, and that he never thought of himself as a roast comic. British singer-songwriter Dua Lipa was granted Albania's citizenship by the country's president Barjrim Bijayesh, Bigage on Sunday. Lipa was born in London in 1995 to immigrant Albanian parents from Kosovo. She will perform a free concert in Tirana on Monday to commemorate Albania's Independence Day. Disney scored a hit and a miss at the box office over Thanksgiving weekend. Black Panther Wakanda Forever had its third weekend at #1. But Disney's animated offering Strange World fizzled with audiences out of the gates. That is Showbiz Minute from the Associated Press. Up next on this day, November 28th, 2012.
Hello, Wellington. Where have you been, precious? We've missed you. Yes, we have, but now we're back. Thank you for such a wonderful party.
Wellington, New Zealand hosted the world premiere of Peter Jackson's The Hobbit, an unexpected journey.
I saw it a few nights ago. I think it's brilliant. Peter's done a fantastic job. He's done it again. If it's possible, it's potentially even better than Lord of the Rings. I think he's surpassed it. It's tremendous. Yeah.
Thousands came out to see the stars, with some camping overnight to secure the best spots. The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey was the first part of a 3-film trilogy and a prequel to Lord of the Rings.
It's kind of amazing. It's surreal and wonderful. It was a gift to come back and briefly revisit the character, but more importantly, just to revisit family and friends. It was like a family reunion.
I mean, it's the seminal sort of Gollum scene, really, because it's the moment where he loses the ring, and it's the only thing he really cares about. And then also the moment where Bilbo spares his life, which allows the rest of the journey into Lord of the Rings to happen. So it was a great scene to do.
We worked hard to try and find some comedy for him, some lighter moments. But the minute they get out that door in Bag End, everything is dark and dangerous. So it's hard to have that many laughs. I don't get to play real people, it seems. I only play supernatural. So playing a dwarf didn't seem that weird, actually. I took it in my dwarfish stride.
The movie took over $1 billion worldwide. And last but not least, today in history for November 28th.
November 28th, 1520. Ferdinand Magellan reaches the Pacific Ocean after passing through the South American strait that now bears his name. The Portuguese navigator crosses the Pacific and is killed in the Philippines in the following year. But Magellan's crew continues and ultimately completes the first circumnavigation of the globe.
And impressive determination.
1990.
It is because we on this side have never flinched from difficult decisions.
In London, Margaret Thatcher, Britain's first woman prime minister, resigns after more than a decade in power. John Major succeeds Thatcher as Prime Minister and Conservative Party leader. 1994. In Wisconsin, serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer is beaten to death in prison by a fellow inmate while serving a series of life sentences. Dahmer had admitted to murdering 17 young men and boys, some of whom he mutilated and cannibalized. 1925.
At the Grand Ole Opry every Saturday night.
The Grand Ole Opry, Nashville's famed home of country music, makes its radio debut on station WSM. And 1962,
the closest election that we have seen in this country in about 4 years, quite frankly.
Comedian Jon Stewart, host of the news parody The Daily Show, is born in Trenton, New Jersey. Today in history, November 28th. Camille Bohannon, The Associated Press.
He's the best. I gotta watch new episodes of his new show. And that is today's headlines. Stay tuned after the break. We'll begin Dragon Quest. Don't go away.
I'll show you the webcams. Current webcam images from Mauna Loa volcano. Hey, look. Now, this is... I think that's for the summit is. Right? Summit. The summit is where this eruption started at the summit about 13 hours ago. Now, I don't know if lava is still coming out of the summit. It's hard to tell from that photo, but that's where lava did start coming out from the summit. That's the summit there. Thermal cam from the northwest rim. That shows you a heat map. I can't really analyze that with my... that image is from a temporary thermal camera. This is a camera from the south rim. Okay, south pit. Summit in northeast rift zone. So this would be a camera. This was taken 10 minutes ago, and the northeast rift zone is where the summit in the northeast rift zone is where the lava has been coming out. So, I don't know exactly the status of the lava right now, but that is a camera of the summit in the northeast rift zone. And maybe all of this here, all of this cloudy stuff is from the lava coming out. I'm not sure. This is also from the northeast rift zone. I don't see a clock on that one. Oh, it says that's from 8 minutes ago. That's from 8 minutes ago. You can click on these things and get bigger pictures. That's from about...
Okay, welcome back. Let's get started. Okay, here's what's happened so far. Sparket's quest to find his lost friends and way to Arborea continues, and he's finally reunited with Eric, who's unfortunately suffering from amnesia. The party arrive in Sniffleheim, where a band of golden warriors called the Gildenauts attacks and kidnaps Eric. The party track them to their lair, where after freeing their friend, they find an Yggdrasil root that reveals images of Eric's past and restores his lost memories. His amnesia cured, Eric recalls the words of the seer, who said that if he helped the luminary, he would find forgiveness. He joins the party once more, and they set forth to do battle with the Gildenauts and fight their way into the heart of the Great Golden Palace ruled over by the terrible Gildiga. And gameplay-wise, we have yet to complete the Azuren bonus boss, because our characters were restricted last time. In that regard, we're going to have to grind up, because when we're battling two of them, it appears to be pretty powerful.
You wish to speak with me? I must speak with you.
Listen. Okay.
Okay, and I suppose the best way to grind is to go back to the Gilden Hall. Or the stronger enemies are there, I think. As I recall, maybe? C's in order. Who do we want? Oh, I have to test the Underdigger. And I guess the Masterful Martial Artist. 39.35.
Could it be?
Havada! Oh, honestly.
Just test out this stuff first.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Jesus! Nice.
Think you're tough, do you? May heaven's winds propel me hence!
Nice.
Catch me if you can!
Nice. Nice. Jesus.
And don't come back.
3,600 for that. What about the golem?
Let's do this. Take this.
Nice.
Take this.
Ow!
You mustn't push yourselves.
Take this. Take this.
Nice. Oh. Whatever. Jesus.
Jade.
Nice. Maybe it's best to go grind at auto. There's more of a chance of those little sticky hands or whatever they're called. I think I'm pretty satisfied with how they are. I want...
Look out below!
So much power! I hope this helps. Sorry!
Damage up!
Two, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you feeling great. Two, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you feeling great.
Nice.
Lovely jubbly.
I feel better than ever.
Serena leveled up. New spell. Multi-heal. 4 skill points. Okay, what do... Air or earth? Try this. Of light.
Let's do this. How do you like us now?
Guess that wasn't necessary.
Going to get you feeling great.
That one out. Meh. Nice.
Hiya! 2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you feeling great.
Nice.
We win again.
54,493 experience. Nice.
Chop! Hiya! 2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you feeling great.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Chop! 2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you feeling great. Silvano takes the stage.
Nice.
Darby chop. 2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you brains.
Nuts. Nuts.
We win again.
Didn't I kill one? Let me try again. Whatever.
You rang, honey?
So much power!
Thank you. Good job. 2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you these brains. I think you'll like this one. Two, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you these brains.
Uh-oh.
Hey! I think you'll like this one. Darby chop. 2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you really great.
Nice. Jesus.
Fabulous.
Turn there. What? Oh, whatever.
I think you'll like this one. 2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you really great.
Ow.
Doorway kick! Doorway chop! 2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you really great!
Need some help.
Doorway chop! 2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you really great! Here we go!
Ow.
Are you all right, honey?
Nice.
2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you really great! Chop!
29,234 experience. Nice.
Things are looking up.
Jade leveled up 5 skill points.
The great Silvando grows even greater.
Savannah leveled up 6 skill points. Let's see. There. Save up again.
This is bad.
I'll do my very best. Perhaps this will help.
Whoops.
2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get to these brains.
There we are. All better.
Thank you.
Dove chop!
2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get to these brains.
Ever so sorry.
Nice.
I got your back.
Dove kick!
2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get to these brains.
Man.
Hiya!
2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get to these brains. Thank you. Two, 4, 6, 8. Going to get to these brains. Catch me if you can.
Nice.
Blast off! Not bad at all.
Veronica leveled up 2 skill points. Ooh. Nice. Ooh.
Anchors away!
Fuck off.
Why don't I show you how it's done? Go, kick! 2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you these brains! Dove chop! Hiya! 2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you these brains! Dove chop!
Meh.
I owe you one. Look out below! Ah, this'll soften them up! Ho, ho, ho!
Nice.
Oh, not bad, gang! Watch out!
Hello, D5 Dizzler, how are ya? Welcome to the stream.
D5 Dizzler. Is that Jack 3 music?
Yes, it was. My music library consists of songs from games and anime that I've watched. And there's different playlists for different types of environments of where the battles take place. How are you, by the way? Nice.
D5 Dizzler. Doing good.
Nice. Just trying to grind up for levels here. And this is modded gameplay, by the way. So it's not a representation of the final product.
Dominate chop! 2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you big brains. Here, princess.
Have you played Dragon Quest before? Nuts!
Oh, not bad, gang. Stay focused.
Jesus.
D5 Dizzler. I have over 1,300 hours in particular in DQ11.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think I would consider Dragon Quest XI one of my favorite games of all time. There's just so many things you can do with this now.
Dominate kick. 2, 4, 6, 8. Going to get you big brains.
Just in case something were to happen.
Dominate chop.
But have you played 11 or? I'm assuming no. Eh. Nice.
D5 Dizzler. Yeah, I've played 11. I got
Oh yeah.
1,300
I thought
hours in
just my brain thought you said 8, so I apologize. I must have spent a lot of hours on it too. Yeah, there's a lot of mods on the PC that can make you replay it for like so many times. Okay, time for this.
D5 Dizzler. Are you aware that placing characters higher in your lineup makes them more likely to be targeted by enemies?
Yes, I am.
It's generally a good idea to place bulky characters in the number 1 spot.
Yeah, I am aware of that. But because I'm grinding so much, bulky might not even make a difference, but I was trying to prioritize. Oh, right.
Silvano takes the stage!
Shit! Falcon Blade? No, that's for the Luminary. Nuts! Fuck. Damn.
Dominate chop!
Nuts! Nuts!
Oh, not bad, gang!
Sorry, Savando. 75,462 experience. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Eric leveled up. 6 skill points. What to do?
D5 Dizzler. Is this the only DQ game you've played?
I believe so, yeah. We could get Flame Slash, Sword ability, critical hit chance when wielding knives plus 2%. Or we could save up for Victimizer, accuracy when wielding boomerangs plus 5%, power throw, starburst throw, stiffness plus 30, dodgy character. Since you're aware of what goes on in the game, what do you think we should do? Dizzler. I like to take requests from my viewers. I like to interact with my audience. Right now, we are grinding.
D5 Dizzler. The knife skills are really good.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to use it for critical hit chance penalty plus 2% or save up for Victimizer? Yeah, we are currently grinding to get past a bonus boss, which is Azarin, and why I'm doing that is because certain bosses block characters
Either
out.
is fine.
Okay. Ooh, what do we have here? Let's have some stab. Oh. And dodge chance plus 3%. And when our characters are blocked out, which is characters are in our party and not supposed to be in yet, and also the NPCs, if they are blocked out, I do no bonus boss, which doesn't restrict me at all. And Seed of Life. Who should we use these two on? Dizzler.
D5 Dizzler. Probably hero if you don't want him to die.
Alright. Okay. So we use those two. Oh, and also, we've got NPCs and also buffs. That is, a mod that I work on. to try and make them more valuable. Because other times I would just use Elijah and maybe Dave or something. Here are the available NPCs. Which ones would you like me to try out? Oh shoot. My color is not correct. Hey Google. Set lights to white. Oh wait, that's simply. Hey Google. Set lights to white and set lights brightness to maximum. There we go.
D5 Dizzler. Dave is already the most majestic individual. He's all you need.
But we do have one more room for one more NPC. I let a maximum of 2 because that's how much the game can allow all at once. If I have 3 of them, the third one just goes off screen somewhere and it glitches out. It would crash.
D5 Dizzler. Nincompoop.
Okay. It temporarily blocked your message, but that's the name. Okay. 31 leaves. There we go. Okay. And currently I'm just grinding, so I have to put up your line of requests on hold for just a moment. Anything that you're curious that you're seeing that I have? I've got like tons of mods on here.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Gotta get rid of those guys. Well, at least one. It analyzes the level, then it grants the MP.
D5 Dizzler. Not particularly. A friend of mine showed me a bunch of these mods a while back.
Do you have a PC? Or what platform do you play on?
D5 Dizzler. Also, who's your favorite character?
Eric, of course. My boyfriend. How about yours?
D5 Dizzler. Hendrik easily.
Oh yeah? Nice! I think Serena's my second favorite. Then Jades goes to the third and Veronica to the fourth. Nice! That was unnecessary. But like...
Heavens protect me!
D5 Dizzler. Is there particular reason that you are grinding here?
Well, we've got a bonus boss to do, and 2 Azarans kicked my butt. What happens is that if there's a boss that's blocking out characters that are in early and the NPCs, I will have to do a bonus boss right after, which is also 2 of them at the same time, just to balance out the NPCs. That's my rule for this playthrough.
You rang, honey! Chop! Yahoo!
Oh, right. Nice. Nice. I hope he doesn't do that too often. I didn't make him to do that. Ooh. Open wide? Oh, yeah. Meh. Nice! Nice! Nice!
Not bad at all.
Oh! Looks like the monsters are getting a bit weak here. So, no rocks. 2 Seeds of Life. Who do we use them on? Dizzler.
D5 Dizzler. Hero.
Okay. Right, this guy. Ow!
See ya!
D5 Dizzler. So who do you think is your most powerful character?
Really hard to say, honestly. I think they're all pretty well balanced. Hendrik needs work, of course.
D5 Dizzler. So Eric is capable of
Nice.
his damage if you go with knives. His status knife combos do 6.2x damage. With divide that's actually an extra 3x, as you can imagine they're quite powerful.
Yeah. Keep in mind that's only from his single weapon. If he's dual wielding, he does like a little bit less than half the damage. And plus, we've got Psych Up, which applies to everybody. I've yet to see the full power, eventually. We'll just have to wait and see. What am I doing? Oh. Did I already do Hallelujah? No, I didn't.
Dizzler. Well, he can get dual deadly from swords that makes dual wielding do full damage.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
D5 Dizzler. This music, so much nostalgia.
Oh, you played Ratchet and Clank? I used to play it when I was younger. I platinumed all the PS3 versions. Yeah, right. Nice.
D5 Dizzler. Oh yeah, I've played all the games. I'm big fan of RNC.
Yeah, I played most of them. I need to still play the PS5 edition. Okay. Oh. Nice! Man.
Why don't I show you how it's done?
Nuts! Nuts!
Another one bites the dust.
46,479 experience. Nice.
How's life in the old dog yet?
Rab leveled up, 5 skill points. I leveled up, 5 skill points. Hendrik leveled up, new spell, more heal, 6 skill points. Serena leveled up, 3 skill points. Much needed. Okay, so get Metal Slash or Miracle Slash, Great Sword Guard. Pep Chance plus 5%, Magical Might plus 5. Or we can save up for Giga Slash. What do you think? Dizzler?
D5 Dizzler. Probably Giga Slash.
Okay. We can unlock Cattle Prod for Serena, or we can save up for Hymn of Air, Thunder, Light, and Dual Wielding. What would you prefer to see in Serena? I presume you're not going to want me to go for Cattle Prod.
D5 Dizzler. I see went with swords for hero instead great swords. Interesting choice.
Yeah, I prefer to put in a lot of defense for him, because with the amount of pep powers the Luminary has, I consider them OP, so I put in that rule where if he dies, then it's game over. Just only use him as a last resort, you know? I've seen him clutch a lot of times, though, so it's pretty much of a fair thing to do, in my opinion.
D5 Dizzler. Dual wielding isn't great on Serena until Act 3.
Yeah. Well, you never know. But what would you prefer for her? Dual wielding or go with the harpistry?
D5 Dizzler. Either isn't great. I guess the harp.
Alright. Okay, for Rab, you can get maximum MP wielding heavy ones plus 10, MP absorption wielding heavy ones plus 4%, Ring of Ruin, magical mending when wielding heavy ones plus 20, moderate MP recovery after battle when wielding heavy ones, attack power wielding class plus 5, empathy, a magical might plus 5, maximum MP plus 30. What do you think for Rab?
D5 Dizzler. Ring of Ruin is great.
Oh, really? I guess I'll try that out. We can also get maximum MP when wielding heavy ones plus 10, MP absorption wielding heavy ones plus 4%, empathy, magical might plus 5, or we could save up for maximum MP plus 30, magical mending when wielding heavy ones plus 20, and moderate MP recovery when wielding heavy ones after battle.
D5 Dizzler. Empathy.
Okay, and the only thing left we have is attack power and wielding claws plus 5, but I assume that you probably don't want that. Next up is Hendrik. We can get Flame Slash, Dragon Slash, Double Slash, Immense Defense and Shields. Attack power when wielding axes plus 10, Hatchet Man, Axes of Evil. What do you think? Oh, there's also Blind Man's Biff and Double-Edged Slash.
D5 Dizzler. Put all his points in shields.
Alright. That shields are great. Do you want defense when wielding plus 10 or block and spear?
D5 Dizzler. Hendrik is an amazing tank, so shields are really good.
Yeah. The community wanted more of his offense. That's why I didn't go into that.
D5 Dizzler. Glockenspiel is the only bad one.
I'm not so sure about that. What it does exactly is that the attack does like half the damage, but damage taken for Hendrik is reduced, so his defense doubles, I believe. And that counts for also magic attacks, so attack power halved for the ability, but his resistance for physical and magic attacks doubles. That's how it works. But it's only if he uses it.
D5 Dizzler. Yeah, I know, but he still doesn't really need it.
Alright. Bearing plus 10. Okay. Ooh, we got Seed of Sorcerer as well. But, 2 Seeds of Life. Who do they go to?
D5 Dizzler. Hero.
Okay. And Magical Might. I think this increases Magical Might by 2. Who do we use that one for?
D5 Dizzler. Rav.
Okay. What's our levels right now? Do you want me to try out the bonus boss that I was talking about now? That way you can get a sense of what it's like. It's supposed to be 2 Azarans. Yes, we're about level 36 to 37 at the moment.
D5 Dizzler. It's fine.
Okay, so continue grinding. Oops. Ooh my.
D5 Dizzler. So Rab's Dark Magic has a 4x crit boost and Ring of Ruin boosts spell crit by 20%, so for Rab his magic gets 80% crit.
Holy shit! That's a lot.
Yahoo!
Damn. Nice. Just need to do Hallelujah and then we're good. Might as well try it.
chop.
Alright, let's see how good it is. Decent.
Let's rock.
It's only because we got, like, middle spells. I'm pretty sure the last spells we got unlocked would be unlimited damage. That's the interesting thing about it. These certain spells have limited damage. And I've actually went into the data tables that you can get inside the game, and you can see exactly what it is. They have random values, minimal values, max values. Really cool to see.
Surrender your soul.
Nice. Nice. Meh.
D5 I believe you can get Yggdrasil leaves from these rock enemies if remember correctly.
Yeah. Whoa. 105,000. 605 experience. Nice.
Not bad.
Jade leveled up 6 skill points.
Oh yeah.
Eric leveled up 5 skill points. Veronica leveled up. New spell, Kassiz, 3 skill points. Jeez. Jesus. So we can unlock Cobra Strike. Flame Slash. Or we can save up for Victimizer, Assassin Stab, Dodge Chance plus 3%, Accuracy and Wieldy Boomerangs plus 5%, Power Throw, Starburst Throw, Stiffness plus 30, Dodgy Character. What do you think?
D5 Dizzler. Save for the knife skills.
Okay. Only thing would be whips. Moment. Okay, so for Jade we can get Can Opener, Attack Power and Wielding Claws plus 15, Hard Claw, HP Absorption when wielding claws plus 20%, Cattle Prod, Thunder Thrust, Agility plus 30, Vacuum Smash, maximum HP plus 30, Hip Drop, Puff Puff, Blow Kiss, Pep Chance plus 5%. What do you think? So many of these skills.
D5 Dizzler. Vacuum Smash.
Alright. Yes, and as you said, Yggdrasil 2 is all there. Here. I feel like I really do want to give the Azurin bonus boss a try. Yeah, let's go to Gallopolis. And see if we can get this another try. Okay, so for Azurin, you're aware of him, right? What NPCs would be perfect to go up against him? I'm thinking maybe the, where is he? Dutiful Drummer. We can get protected by those turn skips. Defense would be raised, of course. King Erwin would probably be good. He can do more damage towards dragons, and Azurin is a dragon. What do you think?
D5 Dizzler. I do love the drummer.
Yeah. Find him. 32. we just need one more. That's the chat above.
D5 Dizzler. Maybe the botanist.
Okay. 34. Just keep in mind, status effects might not be that effective against bosses, I noticed. Okay. Next. Let me just double check to see everything is good on our equipment. Oh, great. Nothing available at the moment. There are some materials that I have to collect. How much gold do we have? 15,000? Actually, we could probably get something from the shops.
D5 Dizzler. The assassin attire looks great on Erdwin.
Assassin attire? Oh, this. Yeah, that's like a little custom outfit from one of the mods you can use. Ended nail. I think I want to get this one for Savando. Yeah, let's try that. What I had before had 6 less defense, but it made his charm go up by about 53 or something like that. But I would think that defense is better, yeah. Although I might want to keep that. Oh. Back here, this is pretty much the largest area I think there is. I do need some room, because Alzarin is just massive,
D5
especially with 2.
How many charm-based moves are you using with SYLV?
See, we've got... I don't know if Hot Lick counts. We got Kiss Me Deadly and that's some more. And keep in mind, we can switch our equipment around, too. Do you have anything? No, probably not at the moment. What time of the day do you prefer, Dizzler?
D5 Dizzler. Well, charm affects the healing of Hustle Dance, so it's definitely important.
Yeah. And we can switch around equipment, so I'll probably be doing that. Sacrifice a little bit of defense for the charm. And that's what I love about this game. You can switch your equipment in battle.
D5 Dizzler.
Oh.
I was in an ad. Did you ask something?
Oh, no worries. What time of the day do you prefer? Dawn, noon, dusk, night?
D5 Dizzler. Night for Act 2.
Okay. Okay, let's just save.
D5 Dizzler. The moonlight is just amazing.
Yeah, I'll give you a little bit of a look here. Heh, does it look even better on mine? Yeah. Okay, let's get our NPCs in here. Alright. Let's give this a try. Ooh, bye. Yeah, I can't even see anything. And of course, we gotta spawn another one. Okay. One moment here. Line up, Dizzler.
D5 Dizzler. Just go with your gut. It's your party.
Okay. Oops, didn't want that. Definitely gonna need some defense and acceleration. Oh, Mitt probably needs something to reduce his damage. Crap, and Veronica can do that. Let's give this a try for now and see how it goes.
Silvano takes the stage.
Oh, oops. The camera can even make a good... Okay.
Magic barrier!
D5 Dizzler. But it was fun chatting.
Okay. Thanks for coming in, Dizzler. Don't forget to follow, eh? Much appreciated. Nice.
Nighty night! Chin up!
Thank you.
Ow!
The same programs made by the liars from the lost age. Try to believe to know what you are, but you are not sure which side you're on from the start. Take a look at the jump. I think you like this one. Wanna sit with the trade? Ready to fit into the scene. Are you losing your way? Here we go. Everyone move to the beat.
Sylvando!
Demolition of the world we know. The natural selection that was all inelectable. Now you see what a beautiful view. When everything is in the right place, nothing's left to improve. What else did we betray? To fit into the sea. Are you losing your way or are you lost?
Scrap metal!
I'll burn you to a crisp.
Nice.
Take it easy, huh?
There we are, all better.
Thank you.
I think I can stand. Let's go for a spin.
Thank you.
I'm on fire! Ha!
Nice.
Here we go! Everyone move to the beat!
Nighty night.
Like it's stable for now.
Magic barrier!
Stay focused. Thank you.
Let's go for a spin. Nighty night.
Here goes.
Thank you.
Immense defense!
Nice.
I think... Here we go! Everyone move to the beat!
I hope this helps. Woo! Now we're talking. Sir Hendrik!
My thanks.
Nice.
Nighty night.
Is it my turn?
My thanks.
Ooh, Jesus.
Let's go for a spin.
Here we go! Everyone move to the beat!
This should help. You do get in such scrapes. Thank you.
thanks.
Jesus. Jeez.
Nighty night.
Need some help.
Here we go.
I feel the need for speed.
Jeez.
Let's go for a spin. So much power!
Here, princess.
Keep fighting.
Oh my.
Magic barrier! Thank you.
I will crush you. Accelerator.
Oh, Eric. Boulder Bringer!
Get a hold of yourself.
Thanks.
Time to die.
Nighty night.
Man, the potential's not good here.
Nighty night.
Oh, nice.
Nighty night.
Here we go! Everyone move to the beat! I owe you one!
Ow!
Here we go! Everyone move to the beat! Some of those memories are scratching my nerves, and I am hearing their voice in deepest reverb. I've got to get out. Why can't you leave me alone for just one night?
Nice. We're not gonna make it. Grind, that's what we should do. Actually, let's try that one more time. Probably more strategic NPCs. The drummer's good, of course. However... Let's try having Elijah. Okay, let's try this again. Okay.
Magic barrier! Take
Ow!
Do not give in. Thank you. Here we go. Everyone move to the beat. Immense defense. My thanks.
Ooh.
What's the matter? Team Red?
Here we go. Everyone move to the beat.
sing!
Thank you, darling.
Jeez.
What do we do now?
Man.
You must protect yourself.
I will crush you.
Is it my turn?
Jesus.
I think I can stand.
Is there anything I can do to help? Are you all right?
Cheers!
Multi-heal!
Thank
Should probably fix that. Oh!
Here we go! Everyone move to the beat! I'm gonna go my way! Here goes nothing!
Magic barrier!
Here we go! Everyone move to the beat! Look out below!
Nice.
Break the walls. Thanks. Fight in my life, stand
Ooh.
That's how you make me feel. Gotta be the star.
I will crush you.
Pick up and in my life, staying on for newborn time. Tokyo freezing, going to the light your feelings. When times get to love, night and day I'm breathing, going to the light your feelings.
This might help. Thank you.
I will crush you.
Hey,
Take your time.
no wasting no more kick cock now the dance of the mother not real that ill show go yeah 誰かの予想誰かで超えて遥か向こうはったねあれもこれもそれも
So much power!
How got a paradise そりゃ勝ち取るまでなら gotta fight 今さらやわなかけできるわけねえだろぶちかもせ頭の中から現実に変化
Ta-da!
レイジすぎこの生み出す芸術品 Nothing is for real That's how
Look out below!
be in love Pick up here Thanks Nobody can hold
Time to die.
Keeping that fight in my life
Accelerator.
I think here we go. Everyone moves to the beat. That's not a dead feeling now. When time's getting love. Lost in paradise. Not a dead feeling now. Keep on dancing. Tokyo and going to the light your feelings. Ooh, yeah. Here we go. Everyone moves to the beat.
Nice.
Way.
Jeez.
Now we're talking.
I will crush you. Accelerator.
Jesus.
Here we go! Everyone moves to the beat!
Oh, fuck off. It's probably over anyway. Yeah.
Here we go! Everyone moves to the beat!
Good lord. Jesus.
Here we go! Everyone moves to the beat!
Jesus.
Here we go! Everyone moves to the beat!
Yeah, pretty obvious. I gotta grind more. God damn it. Okay, I'm just gonna take a little bit of a break. Don't go away.